Let's see your face. Terrific. Hi, Adam. Okay, I want to have a great talk on pitches. Ready?
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be great, but hopefully you guys
Come
enjoy it.
on, it's going to be fine.
We'll,
Trust yourself. That's a good way to start it.
we'll see about that. All right. Can you guys see the screen?
Mhm.
All right. Ah, shoot. That is not, you're not supposed to see that. Hold up. What the hell? All right. Okay, so this is the last talk that we'll have. And I wanted to go through like pitch presentation. And then at the end, we'll go through our pitches and homeworks.
Mhm.
Okay, so for the pitch competition, this is the rubric. Yeah, to take a picture of it. I'll also be sharing the deck so you guys can look over it. But basically, the rundown is it's a 3 to 5 minute pitch, 3 to 5 minute Q&A. I haven't decided on the judges yet, just because there's so many like interests.
Mhm.
But I'll let you guys know, like today or tomorrow, who the judges will be. In terms of prizes, I went over this, but first place $30, second place $20, and third place $100. And thank you, Pam, for donating. Like, thank you so much. You're
Oh,
amazing.
my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, but if you guys have any questions about the pitch, just let me know. It's pretty straightforward. There is something that I wanted to share with you guys. So, look, I don't know if you guys know this, but Asians are like the least likely group, like statistically, to be in manager positions, like leadership executive positions.
Wow.
And I'm showing you this not so you guys can like complain or go protest or whatever, be upset. I'm sharing with this because I want you to know that this is how society, college admissions, HR, hiring managers, this is how they view Asians. And if you're an Asian woman, oh my God, it's even worse. It's like actually the worst to be in manager positions. And Pam can also talk about raising money as a female founder. It
Mhm.
is tough out there if you're Asian.
It's very
So
hard.
I'm telling you this because I think there's really only four paths that you can take. First path, you can do nothing and say nothing. Then you're just inactive. You're an NPC, basically. Or you could do nothing and say something and just be a yapper and someone who just bullshits.
Mhm.
Most Asians fall into the third bullet, which is they do something, but they don't say anything, and no one ever hears about it. And that's most Asians. What I'm really interested in is the fourth bullet. People who do stuff and they're not afraid to tell people what they do. The fourth bullet are the people I'm interested in. Now, I like to think that in order to get to the fourth bullet, you need to think about what are your fears? Like, why are you so afraid to speak up or speak in public? And I want you to feel those fears and embrace it and do it anyways. So yeah, I think most people are afraid of public speaking. And this is like research, a lot of research has been done on this. Like more people are afraid of public speaking than death, like actually dying, which I think is freaking crazy. But I'm kind of like that too. And for me, one of the biggest reasons why I'm afraid is anxiety. I just get so anxious. Whether it's like just talking to someone new or being in
Mhm.
like a social situation or just like speaking up in public or in a meeting or doing a presentation, it's anxiety. And what I'm about to show you is not my material. I recently went through this like speech, I don't know, speech therapist or I don't even know what you call it, but basically they help you with public speaking. And what they told me is, dude, anxiety is a real thing. Like every famous person or every great communicator that you know go through anxiety. Like these are the people from the Beatles, and they talked about how like anxiety almost broke up the band early in their career. Adele talked about how like literally before every show, she would like projectile vomit on people because of how
Wow.
nervous she is. And you wouldn't know this if she was performing, but that's just how nervous these people are. Even Taylor Swift talked about how she was so nervous, and like she was afraid of people like just not liking her, and she'll like go in the mirror and like just hype herself up. Like that's the intensity of her nervousness. Tiger Woods talked about how being nervous is like, if you're not nervous, it just means you don't care. And if he's not nervous, then it's time for him to retire. So he looked at nervousness and anxiety as like, oh, as telling him that he cared about his performance. With Katy Perry, yeah, she also gets very nervous as well. Michael Jordan, the GOAT, gets nervous before every single game. And he doesn't think it's a bad thing, right? Like most people think of nervousness, anxiety as a bad thing. I'm here to tell you, it is not a bad thing to be nervous. It actually just means you're doing something important, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing or that you're going to perform poorly. Beyonce, if she says if she gets nervous, she knows it's going to be a good show. Now, I'm showing you all these influential people because I just want you to know that these people are human, just like you and me, and they get nervous whenever they speak or present. And I also saw these videos that I did not include in these slides of presidents like Obama and like Donald Trump and like all these like famous speakers that you think are like really great speakers. They also get very nervous and they have like teleprompters like that you can't see on TV that like, I don't know, basically just like reading out teleprompters. That's why they sound so smooth. But like in reality, it's not like that, right? Like these are just normal humans. So what I want you to do in the presentation or really just anything in life, right? Because what I'm talking about is not just about the presentation on Thursday. This is more about like just your life in general. I want you to give yourself permission to be human and just mess up. Like it's okay, right? Like how many times have you messed up and like in your mind you're like, oh man, fuck, I'm such an idiot. Like you're still hung up about it. Like you miss a shot on the basketball court and like everyone's running down the floor, but you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have taken that shot. Literally, no one cares except for you. Like no one cares as much as you care. So just don't be so hard on yourself and get back on defense. Now, this is a graph for like the technical people who see things, they just need a graph for some reason. On the y-axis is your level of anxiety. On your x-axis is like when you start to speak. And what you may notice is that if you start thinking about the nerve and you start thinking that, oh my God, I'm getting nervous. This is not supposed to happen. How do I calm down? Oh my God, fuck. The anxiety raises, right? That's the yellow stuff. It just keeps going up and you start panicking. What I suggest you do is accept the fact that you're nervous and that everyone gets nervous. And it's very okay to be nervous because it's a natural response. And it doesn't mean you're not going to perform well. It just means you're nervous and this is something that's important to you, but you're still going to do fantastic. Then what's really interesting is that the nerves actually go away. Not even joking. The nerves actually go away.
I have a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, Pam.
Obviously, you're telling us this thing for a reason. So when you started talking to us, were you nervous? And now have the nerves gone away?
Oh, dude, I was so nervous. Are you joking? Always, right? Like, Alex told me like a friend is gonna like show up, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, a friend's gonna show up. Well, I gotta make this good. Dude, I'm nervous. Even right now, I'm very nervous.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. It's not gonna affect how I perform, right? It's just nerves. It's actually
Yeah.
a good thing that I'm nervous. And I think one of the biggest realizations that I've made in my life is to just realize that you actually have nothing to lose and everything to gain in any situation. I think once you have that mentality that you truly have nothing to lose and there's nothing that you truly really need for survival, I don't see why you can't be confident. I don't see why you can't just do the thing that you want to do or say the things you want to say or pursue the things you want to pursue. And it's never that serious. Like, truly, it's never that serious. Like, family, friends, religion, those are the serious things. This project, this presentation on Thursday, it's really not that serious. It's a learning experience for you. I want you to look at this email real quick. I know it's a lot of information. You're probably not going to digest it all. But this is an email by the Airbnb founder. And he was rejected, I think 7 times by VC. And the next time you have an idea, you're afraid of getting rejected or sharing with someone, I just want you to reference this email. And just look at like how he doesn't give a shit. He's just sharing his like what he's working on, and he's just keeping sharing updates. You know, he's giving people opportunities to invest. And that's the same attitude that I want you to have as well. Now, some of you guys gave presentations last week, and I think one thing that I've noticed is that you need to show more excitement. I know maybe you're not that excited about your project, but it's very contagious, okay? Do not be aloof, because if you don't care, why do I care? Why am I here? Why does anyone care? If you're not the most passionate person on earth about what you're working on, it's over. And I'm talking about with your essays, anything that you do, anything that you write, it shows. It shows, right? If you're writing, if you're not excited about what you're writing, it shows. If you're inauthentic in anything that you do, it shows. So don't be aloof, like be genuinely excited. And what I've noticed is that sometimes, some days you might not be feeling it, right? Some days you might not be like, oh man, I just don't feel like it. Well, something I've noticed is that what you think affects how you feel, affects what you do, and affects the results that you get in life. But turns out, how you feel isn't the starting point. Sometimes if you don't feel like doing anything, but you do it anyways, turns out it's actually a loop. So it can actually affect how you feel. For example, you don't feel good right now. Maybe go out for a jog or for a walk. And turns out by doing some positive action, you actually start getting some positive thoughts and start feeling positive. It's like a loop, you know? It's not like, oh man, I don't feel good, and therefore I can never think, I can't do anything. Or I don't have positive thoughts right now, so I'm just gonna feel like shit. I'm just gonna wait until I have positive thoughts. It doesn't work like that. You can actually short circuit.
Short circuit.
But yeah. I also recently read the autobiography of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And if you guys don't know who this guy is, he basically grew up in like the middle of nowhere, like Austria. I don't know. Some like
Yeah,
literally
it was Austria.
Okay. Like literally he grew up in like the most like remote place, right? Where like it was literally like back in the day, like if you grew up in those areas, like that's your entire life. Like you romanticize about coming to the US, but like realistically, you have a very, very, very small chance of coming to the US and making a name for yourself. So he was literally born in like the smallest region, poor, like he had nothing. And now, do you know who this guy is? Like, give me a thumbs up if you actually guys know who he guys is. He's like a movie star. He's like the governor of California. Dude, like this guy's like creates a bodybuilder. And what
he was an actor.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing was in his autobiography, he said that he could always see it. He always knew that he was going to be like that. Like, and one of his most famous quote was, if you could see it and you believe it, then you can actually achieve it. And I think most people in life, including me for the longest time, I didn't know what I was really doing. I couldn't see what I wanted to do. Like even in your presentation on Thursday, close your eyes and like just visualize yourself presenting your presentation. Then actually see yourself like to the finest details. Like this is what world-class athletes do. Like basketball players like Michael Jordan, they visualize their entire game before they even step in the court. They visually practice every shot. Like they see it go through. And like this is the type of vision that I want you guys to have. Wait, no way. Sorry, the slide.
And I think one thing about that, this is very interesting. I don't know if anybody likes the Olympics, but I watched the men's gymnastics, and there was one of the people who was presenting he was very quiet and he kept sort of talking to himself and walking around. And the announcer said he was practicing every move he was going to do. And he ended up getting the highest number of all of them. It was an amazing thing. But the guy practiced. He walked just on it back and forth, and he would think about how he was going to do it.
No, it's a real thing. Like being able to visualize your own success. I'm not gonna get into like the whole like manifestation bullshit. Like this is not that. I'm sure there's some merit to that, but like what I'm talking about is like just being able to visualize yourself achieving a success and then going out and doing it. Try it. Okay, so some final tips on presentation and speaking. Focus on connecting with the audience.
Smile at the audience.
Sorry? Oh, what'd you say, Pam?
Smile.
Oh, yeah. I took that away.
Because it's not serious. Smile and connect with the audience. And even if you're on Zoom, just smile.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, focus on connecting with the audience. And when I say connecting with the audience, what I mean is like really make sure that they're following along. You know, like how many times have you just been in like lectures or presentations where the person's trying to get over they're just talking, they're just reading through the slide, talking really fast, and just really trying to get the fuck out of this presentation and get out of the spotlight. They're just trying to get it over with. Do not do that. Like really embrace the moment. Like be in the moment. Make sure the audience is following along, right? Like sometimes I ask you guys, are you guys following along? Like give me a thumbs up, right? That's just to make sure that you guys are following along and we're connecting. Something that I've realized is that in conversations, a really good, I guess a good hack to do to build connection is ask questions like who, what, when, where, why, how. And the reason why this is really good is because it kind of taps into a person's imagination, right? Tell me about the last time, like for example, if I asked you, when was the last time you got an F on an exam? You know, you're immediately going to be thinking back about the last time this happened, right? And then we're connecting. Like, I don't know, for some reason that just works. Not doing a really good job with like the whole like tapping into your imagination thing. But that's just something I've realized is that if you ask like who, what, when, where, why questions to your audience, for some reason it just starts building a connection. And I guess the last three thing is like just take your time and talk slow. I think most people when they get nervous, they start talking really fast. But talk slow and take a deep breath. Okay, I just want to leave you with a few other things. This is like honestly the thing I really hope you take away from this entire program. I think I said this in the first week as well. You're gonna hear a lot of feedback from a lot of people, not just in like the past 5 weeks, but just like in life in general. If you're doing anything crazy or anything cool, people want to give advice. And that's great. You know, you ask customers, oh, what do you think? Should I build this? They're gonna say, yeah, build this. You ask them like, I don't know, just like people are just gonna give you like a bunch of data points and like give their opinions constantly. And that is great. But at the end of the day, I really want you to trust your gut, like really trust yourself, right? Even the stuff that I'm saying to you, don't just take my word for it. Like go out there and test it for yourself and find out for yourself, find the truth for yourself. And I think most people in the world, like most people are very transactional, right? Like they only want to do things if there's a return involved. They will only start a company if they have the funding to do it and it's guaranteed to make the money. And I will only work on this project if I can get into Harvard. People will only do things if they can get something else. And you know what? Those are the worst people. Those are actually the people that don't get the investment, that don't get into Harvard, because they are just so transactional and they do things at such a conditional basis. What I want you to do is just do things because you want to do it. It doesn't matter if you don't get anything out of it. You just do it because you want to see it happen, okay? Those are the people that actually transform the world. And those are the people that actually get the investors. Because those are people that, even if they're rich, poor, sunny, raining, they will do it. They don't care. They will do it. And those are the unstoppable people. And those are the people that I want you to be. Don't expect anything in return. I'm not saying. Just at the end of the day, like I want you to be the real deal. Okay. Like I think a lot of you guys go to Ivy Leagues and you guys have friends that go to Ivy Leagues. I've noticed that a lot of Ivy League kids are just really good at talking. They're just really good at bullshitting and like making things sound amazing, but yet they don't do anything. Don't be like that. Like be the actual thing. Like be legit. Like be the real deal. And don't say anything you don't mean, man. Like I hate those people. Like if you're gonna say it, just mean it, or don't say anything at all. And again, like back to fundamentals, build the product, talk to users, and repeat, right? There's really only two things that matter: making money and getting users. That's it. Like partnerships, sponsorships, talk events, networking events, distractions. So yeah, embrace the anxiety, embrace the uncertainty, and embrace the fear. Because that's life. Like those are real things. Those are emotions. Like if you're not feeling that, something is wrong with you, or it's over. Like it's actually over. You're like 80 years old and you don't feel anything. It's over at that point. So if you feel those things, you're lucky that you feel those things. So be very grateful that you feel anxiety, you feel uncertainty, and you feel the fear. It's a blessing. Okay. Wait, this is it. That's weird.
Can
Yeah.
can I
Okay.
add a few things right now? Because
Yeah.
I think that there's certain ways to do a pitch. And I think that because I've been working on it with the other accelerator, and I think those things should be spoken about. I mean, you can certainly go and give a talk and ramble for 3 to 5 minutes, and you won't get any place. I mean, people won't even understand what you're talking about. And it's best to like talk about what you're doing in front of somebody who doesn't know what you're doing. And if they can understand it, then anybody can. And there are just certain rules that you go by. The first is, I said it right at the beginning, I think when only 1 or 2 people were there, say your name. You know, you can say your age if you're going to school. That's it. And that just begins it. And you're like introducing, like when you meet somebody. Then after you do that, I would say if there's a why, like if you're doing your company because you had something happen at an early age and you feel that everybody should have sort of mental health care, say the why, and then say what the problem is. It's not just your problem, it's a problem that everybody feels, and how we're going to solve it. Those two things are very important. Always have a team picture of yourself, something about you, not a long thing, but maybe where you go to school. Like if you went to Cornell, put Cornell and what school it was. And if you have a partner who's doing it with you, put their name in and say co-founder. If you have a technical person. So the team is very important. Make sure you don't know who you're talking to. Make sure you have an ask. And the ask is, look, I'm looking for $1,000 to start my product or my company. That's fine.
We'll go
And
over,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
I just want to finish the slide, but we'll go over everyone's slides in a bit. So
Okay, great. But the last thing that you should do, and every time you speak to anybody, have a thank you with your name and your email address.
okay. All right, guys, going back to slides. Yeah, embrace the fear, anxiety, and uncertainty. All right, in terms of next steps, stay in touch, right? Stay in touch. Text me if you guys need anything. If you guys are applying to YC or need or like just want to brainstorm or you feel stuck or uncertain, yeah, hit me up. As for Speak Up, we're gonna focus more on like high school and college kids, and that's like the pricing for the next cohort. And if you guys refer someone, we'll give you like a commission. And we do have financial aid because like I totally get it. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Any questions? I'm gonna stop sharing. Yeah. Any questions? or comments? Come
I
off mute.
use,
Come off mute.
I really like, I know last time you gave feedback on sharing a lot of things visually, and I really like how this presentation, like, it was just so many screenshots of articles and stories that I feel like really kept me engaged.
Cool. What about the content? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I really loved it. I mean, like talking is such a like presenting is such a separate skill I feel like not a lot of things cover in life. I remember I'm lucky enough that when I was like in high school, I was asked to like do this competition repeatedly. It was about like speaking up against bullying or something, and it was a really cool opportunity like every year that they had me compete for it. But I remember when I first started, like I was so scared. But what I realized was just repeatedly exposing yourself to like these kinds of experiences is like what made me like not afraid to like try new things. Because I was so scared, like I couldn't breathe. But just by doing it over and over, it's not that you don't get nervous anymore. It's just you trust yourself more for one thing. And like you can say you've done it before and you can do it again. I think all the things that you've shared in the presentation are very true. And just gotta practice it, I guess, sometimes. It's really nice.
Yeah, Jeff, the content was really good. I could tell you're really passionate about it and really came through.
Yeah, it's contagious, right? So you guys are really passionate about what you guys work on. It'll come through as well. All right, what else? Anyone, any other thoughts?
well, there can relate to what Jeff said. Like, are most of you nervous about talking in front of people? Like, who there? Sort of raise your hand if you're nervous, or if you can sort of calm you. Okay, Shauna. Okay, we got that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Do you guys have
Yeah,
any
no,
about that? Go ahead.
What, Jeff?
No, someone's talking.
no, I was just saying that what you said, I mean, your presentation was very useful because I kind of needed those reminders, like trusting yourself and that no one cares as much as you do. Because I've always had this problem with like public speaking. It's something, I don't know, even if it's like just 2 lines that I have to say in front of the class, I would be thinking about it the whole day up until that point, and I eventually get over it. So that's the problem that I have had, and I still do. And yes, I think hopefully new experiences and more of like talking in public will eventually help me out.
Do you think practice helps, Shauna?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
think
So those 2 sentences you worked on. Okay.
yeah, that too. But then I would still mess up somehow.
You can. I grew up with a speech impediment. I stammered, and there were certain words I couldn't say, and the first word was I. And you have to say I quite a few times. And so I not only was scared about, doing the speech, I was scared that I would stammer and people would laugh at me. So, and that's true though. You care, you feel you're the one and you feel everyone is saying, oh, that's terrible, but they're not. They're very forgiving actually. And they feel good about when you try.
Cool. Any questions about what we talked about? Like, I like to think that you guys won't, like, I like to think that after this, you guys should have no problem with public speaking. Because, I don't know, I like to think that this is like addressed all the issues.
Only if it's 2 sentences, right?
I'm not saying you won't feel nervous or anxious. That's just normal. I hope I made that point clear. Like, that's not a thing to feel that.
I've come to the conclusion at this point in my life, and I'm much older, I'm probably the addition of all of you together, that everything is either an interview or a date. And if you think about it that way, it's fine. But just figure it doesn't matter who you're speaking to, it's an interview or a date.
Okay. All right, let's go over the presentations. Who wants to go first? I'll gonna start calling on random people.
Call on someone, surprise them.
Someone?
Yeah, call on someone. Go for it, Jeff.
Alex, do you want to go?
Okay.
Sure. Let's see if I could share. Let's see.
Wait, hold up.
Oh, that's right. That was a
Wait,
big
are you
problem
able to?
last time.
I like to think I've solved the issue.
Let me try. Host has disabled screen sharing for this meeting.
God
Maybe
damn.
that's because Jeff's recording it.
No, that should not have done anything.
No,
Where's
okay.
Adam when you need him?
Let's just make, yeah,
First.
let's just make Alex the host.
No, it's okay. I got it. Try again.
Oh, good, okay.
All right. Does that work?
Sort of.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah,
my, okay. Excuse me. All right. It's a little different this time. Okay. So I'm working on Courting. It's helping small music artists build community organically. So who we are, I'm Alex, 22 years old, majored in chemical engineering at Cornell. And I've been producing music since 2017 in many different genres. But one thing I found was that I would only produce, and I would never try and I never even thought the thought never even crossed my mind that I could make a career out of it. And I feel like that's because of certain problems that I'll get into later on. And also we have Ryan on the team, and we're gonna find a technical lead soon to actually work on the app. Here's an executives. Here's a like just an overall of what we do. Courting is a social media platform used by small artists to connect with one another, and we're going to focus on gathering artists that are currently on other platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, SoundCloud. They're just all over the place right now. And our current status, we're still pre-launch, and we're going to look for
bless you.
day one and thank you and first month launch signups through our landing page as our traction to gauge our traction in the coming month. So here's our problem. Our problem statement is that we're growing as aspiring artists. It's pretty difficult in such a saturated market. And a lot of the time you're spent just submitting your music, networking, DMing people, returning emails, sending emails, and all of this for really small returns and a lot of time away from doing what you actually love, which is creating music and sharing it with people. So I just made like a quick persona. Fernando, early 20s. He's looking to build his career. He wants his day to look like playing his music at festivals, sharing with a large crowd his music. But what it actually looks like is trying to look at tutorials on how to sell his beats and DMing a lot of artists and emailing them with mixed responses most of the time. So here's our solution. And as you can see, it's a social media platform, and I drew a quick mock-up on it on my iPad. And we would have on the bottom left, you can see is the main matching feature. So it'd be similar to Tinder or other dating apps. And in the first iteration of our product, we'll have it just matching producers and artists, and we'll probably increase the scope as we go on. And there would be a search feature and an upload feature straight in the app, so you don't need to go to other music sharing platforms to share it. We'll have forms and playlists to increase discoverability, and a pretty personalized, I guess, profile page where you put your music first, and you can add self-identified tags to show exactly what type of music you're interested in making or what type of people you want to be matched with. And just as a small aside, at the bottom is our MVP right now is a conglomeration of a Discord community, Instagram profiles, where we look for artists, SoundCloud for music hosting, and we'll do manual matching. And here's just a quick differentiator slash benefits page. We'll differentiate by having a advanced matching feature where artists and producers can find each other without scrolling or messaging. And it'd be really easy to use because it would just be the one-stop shop for all things music producer related. And just I'm gonna have to do more work on the market research, but here's just a quick look at it. I found that there's a lot of creators on SoundCloud. Probably, I'm gonna have to figure out like exactly how many of those are would pay for this premium service that we're offering, and how many are not. But a random estimation would be 4.3 billion. Probably not random, but an estimation we have is 4.3 billion as the total addressable market. And that comes from our premium service, which is $12 per month currently. We're pricing it competitively with other platforms that I've seen. And that comes with extra features such as unlimited uploads, customization. But I'm not trying to make them pay for discoverability. That's one thing I won't do. And we're also thinking about making a transaction fee. So we get a certain cut of every transaction that happens on our app. And obviously, I'll estimate more of the market and get a bigger feel on what's going on. And also, I'll talk about growth in the actual pitch, such as because in recent years, the music like small artist industry has really boomed, and I'll get some figures on that. And basically, I put together the traction and looking forward into one slide because looking forward is building traction. We're going to try and release as soon as possible and find a technical lead mid-August and then develop an app by the end of the year. And the figures of how much we're seeking is still to be determined. So yeah, thank you for listening. And any questions?
I have a few thoughts, okay?
Yep.
Do you mind?
Yep.
Number your pages, okay?
They are numbered.
Oh, okay. I think somehow my face is on that page.
Oh yeah.
And instead of having something that says problem, just tell the problem. You can say the problem we're dealing with. And the same way with the word solution. Don't have that on it either. Okay. Say the way we're solving this is this way. And what I would show is a mock-up of what it would look like, maybe on a phone or on a website, just sort of what it would look like. Show a few things on it.
I kind of drew one, just like this one.
But that's a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely use that. And then where you have your traction, what I would do is have a line and then have dates when things happen.
Yep.
Okay.
I could definitely
because I think that'll look a little better.
Yep.
And when you do the sum and how much you think you're going to get, I've seen people do it in circles. The full amount is 372 billion. The sum is like 122, and the amount that you think you can get from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good. But otherwise, it was very good.
Thank you.
Anyone else has feedback for Alex?
I feel like there's like a lot of words on the page.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna change it out for more graphs and mock-ups and tables. But this is just the first draft because I wanted to get everything out I wanted to on the page.
Yeah, I'm like torn because on one hand, I really like seeing your whole process and hearing like so many different type of ideas for the different like business models or for the different features, but I think it does get a little confusing. So if you could like prioritize what like your top 3 or maybe even just one solution.
No, just speak up a little bit, okay?
Yeah, for sure. So if you could prioritize just picking a couple of those and emphasizing them, I think it'll bring like a really confident vibe to the presentation.
Yeah, I thought you had a pretty good intro actually. when I say intro, I just mean like when you were introducing yourself, it was pretty good because like you built credibility. And this is something that like everyone should also hear. The intro slide. Part of the intro slide is not just so you can introduce yourself. It's also so that you can show that you're a credible source, right? Like Alex is working on this like music app, but that's just because he's like actually in it, right? So he understands the pain point. So it's actually really good that you mentioned that. But then I don't know, you kind of lost me a little bit when you like mentioned Ryan. I'm like, who the hell's Ryan, right? Like really
So
mentioned
it was
like,
yeah. I just wanted to put them on just
yeah, you just say,
just
you just say I'm also working with like these people, right? Like,
Yeah.
and also I'm not sure like a tech lead. It's not really on your team yet, so I don't know. I don't know what you're doing there.
but they will be. They will be.
You can say we're looking for a tech lead, right?
Yeah, these are just they're placeholders.
Yeah.
For now.
Jeff, what do you think about the who we are? I mean, except for Alex when he gives his blurb and sort of his intro. I mean, the who we are, we could put on a team sheet. And if you have any advisors, like if you consider Jeff one of your advisors, I would put him in the bottom and say, your advisor, Jeff, and Speak Up Ventures.
I think if you're gonna put Ryan on it, you should just like have some detail about who he is, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's also a producer. Like I said, right, this isn't just for you to like put your entire team on it. It's like for you to build like credibility. Like, why are you on it? Like, you know, even the tech lead, like why is the tech lead on it? Like, what is the credibility that this tech lead brings?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think every word should be like very like there should be a purpose for everything. It shouldn't just be there just to be there. And then
well, it's like the like why I have problem and solution on these. It's just placeholders because I got to remember this is the problem slide. This is the solution slide for now.
Right.
Because I'm still editing. I'm still going through and changing stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
Also, I'm kind of nitpicking because like you're like pretty close. That's why I'm like kind of going to
yeah.
Launching it. I think we talked about this earlier this morning.
Yes. I've been busy.
Don't even show up to the presentation on Thursday if you don't launch it.
Okay.
I don't want to see that. I don't think anyone wants to see that. What is this pre-launch BS? Just launch it, man. Start sharing. Don't even say you haven't launched it. Just you've launched it. Start sharing with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't show up with that on the slide. Go to your solution slide. Actually, no, sorry. Go back to the problem slide.
Slide 4.
I would just have one sentence telling me what the problem is. Just too many words.
Yeah.
It's at the top. I think.
Three lines.
It's a lot of words though. It's a lot of words.
Still edit it down.
Characters or something, or 100
It's like
characters.
your 30-second pitch.
Literally just tell me what the problem is. Like aspiring producers can't find other artists to work with, and they can't make and they have a hard time making money because they can't. Like it's like literally simplify it. Like you don't need to like convince me that there's a problem. Just tell me it's a problem. You know, like you're the expert in this, right? Like I'm already convinced because you're telling me about it. And then go to the solution slide.
And remember, get rid of the word solution. You say solution.
Again, I think you just tell me what the solution is. All right, like
yep.
You're just focusing a lot on features. Like I just don't care about any of these features. Just tell me what the problem is. Like, what did you solve? We match artists and producers, and we help them sell records, and we take a commission fee. That's it. Like all these like profile UI come first, upload straight to platform. I don't care. You know, just tell me what the problem is and how you solve it, and how you make money. That's really what I care about, right? All these other like details, like maybe put in the appendix or something, and just show me what your app is. Like, you don't need. I think you eliminate a lot of words. Just show me what it is.
And you know what? Even the print. I mean, I would make the print a little bigger and make it darker so you can read it. And if you have a logo, put it under where my picture is. You know, sort of on the top.
Yeah. And also like for your differentiation page, I don't really know if you really need that. Like personally, I think you just focus on who you are and like what makes you kind of.
So you wouldn't compare and show other groups, Jeff, that are doing the same similar thing and say why ours is better, something like that?
Not really. Who cares?
Okay, Jeff's the boss. Yeah.
I mean, you can talk shit. You can talk like briefly about it. Like I wouldn't have a whole slide dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Just focus on you, right? Like, why are you so unique? What is the problem you're solving? This is how we solve it. This is how we make money. Just move on.
No, here's our team. Now we make money. Well,
Yeah.
how are you going to make money, really? How are we going to monetize it? Is there going to
Yeah.
be, things like that?
I think you just need to be more definitive, man. You just don't
Mhm.
sound sure like what's going on. And also, man, it's okay. Like, even if you're not sure yet, just say something that's like definitive. I'm not gonna know. Like, no one's really gonna know, right? Except for you, right? It's
That's
like,
true. The judges won't know.
what are you projecting to the public? Yeah.
But you know what? I can't remember who said it. Get rid of a lot of the words because we don't need it. I'd rather you know the words and not the piece of paper. Like here, the solution, we could have a little mock-up of an iPhone or an Android and what we're looking at. Just take a fake picture of it.
Yeah, I think that also there's a point where you start rambling a little bit. I think that maybe that also comes back to like you're just not sure what you're really saying. So just be definitive about like things should be matter of fact. Like you're not making this up on the fly, right? Like you're just telling like, this is already happening and you're just telling me what's going on and that's it. You know? Like there's nothing you should be making up on the fly or unsure about. This is what's happening. And that's it. I think my last feedback is like on the market slide, I would just clean it up. And I think the purpose of the market slide is just telling me that this is a big opportunity. And
Mhm.
I don't think like you need to focus so much on it or do so much like gymnastics on it. Like it's a big opportunity. Cool. Okay. Like, that's it. Like you can just show
Okay.
other competitors are like that's like a big opportunity. But I think really the purpose of the market slide is just convincing me that it's a big opportunity. Like that's it. Like, if I see some giant circles, I'm gonna believe you it's a big opportunity. I need to like spend so much time on it.
Okay. I'm just an engineer, so I like the numbers. I like showing my work.
You keep the numbers as an engineer, definitely.
All right, those are my thoughts. Any
No,
other?
that was good. And remember, make the numbers darker and a little bigger too, the page numbers, because you might have one
Yep.
judge who says, go back to page 3. Okay. And they will, if there's a number.
Last feedback for this is for everyone also, right? For every slide, just have 1 to 3 things you really want the other person to take away. Like for example, the solution slide, I'm really not sure what to take away from this, right? But like for any slide, literally have 1 to 3 things that you want them to take away. And then also in your entire presentation, what are 1 or 2 things you want them to take away? Because they're not gonna remember everything. And if I don't immediately get what the slide's about, I'm already gone. I'm talking about on my phone. Just my thoughts. All right, what do you think,
Right.
Alex? Like,
These are great. Good feedback.
Good.
I have a lot of work to do.
okay. You want to pass it to the next person? Pass the baton.
Like popcorn it.
Yeah, popcorn.
Yeah, like popcorn it.
Can I go next? I
Yeah,
chatted a
sure.
bit, if that's okay.
I give it to MJ.
Okay, yeah. That's one of my favorite strategies. I like to go first or second. Like that's what I did all of high school. Okay, you guys see it?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. Hello, my name is MJ, and today I present to you LearnLake. Simply put, it is a platform for college students to form study groups and create a course community. Sounds like a cool idea, but really, why? I think it's important to understand the problem at hand and why this is an essential solution. And that starts with who I am. I recently completed my first year of college. I'm participating in this program because I've identified a problem that I want to provide a solution to. I want to network here and learn and finally take action for this problem. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. I want to complete my degree and someday pursue this startup so I can help all the students that will come after me. So who are the customers? What are their problem? And really at the end of the day, what college students are learners in a very dynamic environment. I mean, semester to semester, we have all kinds of new things like new classmates, completely different circles, class formats change all the time, how they test us, some have tests, some don't. And even the types of homework that they provide to us all changes. It feels as if within this space of college, semester to semester, it feels like nothing's so consistent. I feel like a lot of the time kids are scrambling to put together what should we do for this thing, or like people are having a hard time with a recent test. And really what I want LearnLake to do is provide a space that students can hold on to throughout all the years during college. And there's a dream solution for that. And I envision an all-in-one college student hub. It has features like the ability to host and join study groups. There's a forum that students can collaborate on recent homeworks, profiles for each student that has some of their commendations from other students, some achievements they have within LearnLake, and possibly even a better community for student organizations that they can host, and much more. I basically want to be able to say that if business has Slack and gaming has Discord, I want college students to have LearnLake. And here's a little bit of a preview. Mind you, I'm not a front end guy, but I want to give you a sort of a flow of what this could look like for kids. So here's the dashboard of a course, maybe with updates and be cool AI generated summary of what's been recently talked about within the forums or the general chats. Seems here people are talking about exam 2, homework 3. And as you can see here, there's a place for you to find study groups and talk to your course community. Course community looks a little bit something like this. You can talk to people throughout your time during the semester. And in forums, you can find a more organized form of communication about certain things, like a certain topic, like the exam that happened recently, homeworks. People can ask if they're stuck at all. And as you can see here, Bob just doesn't even know what's going on with homework 3. And a study group finder for people to go to match up with others. So here we can see some topics that they want to cover, number of members they want, and even where they would like to meet up. Bob, once again, just looking for any help. And finally, a profile page for people to click on to see who they're interacting with, what their majors are, and what courses they're in as well. It'd be cool to see how these people perform in study groups with other people commending them, maybe recommending them. And it seems here on my profile, someone says I'm a chill dude and I'm fun to talk to. That's very reassuring. And I have an achievement. I've participated in over 10 study groups. Cool. That's the dream solution. Someday, I really believe LearnLake can become its own platform, but the solution I can provide now and am providing now is a study community on Discord. Why? So I can interact with these students now. I've received feedback and I'm providing the service immediately. Though through limited means, because Discord's not built for this, it provides this study group finder. People are chatting and talking about the year before it has even started. And I think now more than ever, there's a sense of community in one place. No more scattered group chats across many different platforms, just LearnLake. And this is what it looks like right now. I formed my first study group for Calc 3, which is pretty cool. I think I have around like 5 people in it. We're talking, it's cool. And I'm very excited. And we have over 150 members at this point, and that's before the school year starting. So I'm really excited for what's to come. Possible revenue streams include advertising on the web application, university setup fees, because I realized through making this Discord, you need a personal touch for every uni to make sure that every kid feels like the system that's set up for them is properly configured. And study session revenue, venue sponsorship. So this could be partnering with cafes, give the kids a discount, and we'll have you as a location on our application. And that's a good partnership to have. And the market feedback I've received from my own experience, from my friends, is that groups are everywhere. Sometimes the study circles feel so close, it can be scary to reach out. There's no place for everyone to talk. I think that through the launch of LearnLake, we'll learn so much about what's missing in the student experience. And to end it off, I've compiled 4 reasons why people joined. I asked the people in my Discord, and number 1 is to meet people. Number 2 is to form study groups. And number 3, I like this very much, is their friends invited them. And 4, they're looking for a helpful resource. Not only can LearnLake provide a resource that people can use to succeed in college, it's stressful as it is. I feel like building a community and a circle of people is the best way to have fun as well. Thank you very much. That was LearnLake.
That's good.
Okay, I think, okay, so I only recorded like half of it, but I think that's like on the longer side. Oh yes,
Yeah.
same with you, Alex. Tighten the pitch a little bit. It's a little longer.
You know what? I just had a thought, Jeff. I don't know if you like the idea or not, but the winning prize is $300. And maybe have a slide that says what I would do if I got $300.
That'd be cool. I like that.
Yeah,
actually.
you know, just what you do with that. Like, you know, would you hire somebody? Would you do, you know, anything you would do? Because I think that lets people know that you're optimistic, you have a chance, and remember the page numbers. Ooh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
actually,
you.
yeah. Well, you guys can include if you guys want. What are your guys' thoughts on MJ's slides?
I love the actual like UI. Like I don't know if you made that on slides or whatnot, but like being able to really see like the posts of the people or like Bob that like didn't know what was going on really helped visualize all the features rather than just talking about them. Yeah, exactly. This is great. Um, and then I think even like I like that you included the Discord screenshots, and I would include even more. Like when you put the reasons for why people are joining, literally like give us the screenshot of the person saying it that way. I think just makes it like that much more wow, like you have a community. Um, but yeah, really, really great stuff, and you can tell you're passionate about this.
Thank you.
MJ, are you the only one on your team right now?
No, I'd say I have a friend who have asked to be my co-founder, and
Okay.
yeah, she pretty much accepted, and I'm really excited to have her on the team.
Do we want to have a team thing with your picture and your friends? You know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to show and maybe have a few little bullet points of what she's going to bring to the party, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I haven't thought of it yet because we're still figuring things out, but
Yeah, but you know, it just is a nice little touch. And you know what? I love the colors that you have. Noga was talking about them. And I think let's use them as your logo, you know, sort of like on top or on bottom, any place, and be consistent. I mean,
Yeah.
just makes it a little more interesting.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I thought it was pretty good. I think I wasn't kind of going a little bit, but I think I felt like you could have sounded like a little bit more enthusiastic about it. It felt like it was very like very leveled. I mean, I know that like I don't know, maybe that's just your speaking voice, like your presentation voice. It felt like it was a very presentation voice. But I felt like you could like, you know, let yourself go a little bit, you know, like kind of mess with like the tonality a little bit more to make it, I don't know, like sound more interesting. Like this is why I think like high school kids, like, you know, like you can kind of mess with like the tone a little bit, right? And instead of it just being like all one level tone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just nitpicking, but that's just something
Well,
I
that's part of your talk. That's exactly what you said. Be excited, because if you're not excited, nobody's going to be excited. I think the colors, though, got us excited.
The colors are cool.
Yeah, the colors work nicely. Guys, I've got an appointment in 1. My apologies. I will see you. Are you meeting with anybody before the pitch on Thursday, Jeff, or is this it?
No, is it?
Okay, good luck, everybody. I'll see you Thursday. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, it was a pleasure. Sorry I have to leave.
Of course. MJ, can you just go back to the like very, very beginning? I'm just kind of probably take it like one slide at a time. Okay, a platform for college students to form study groups and create a course community. I'm not sure what a course community is. Yeah, that I'm really not sure about. I don't know. Is it obvious to everyone what a course community is, or just me?
No, yeah, I see what you're meaning because that's a sort of a term I've been working on to like label sort of having a chat room and forums and like all these things in one place. That's kind of the term I've been using to blanket it. But if that's not clear enough, I see what you mean.
I think it would just be cool to like instead of saying a platform, just say like we help college students form study groups and meet people.
Okay.
You know, like just being like very direct and matter of fact. Like what are we doing? It doesn't have to sound like that cool. I don't know. It's very anti like what you how you expect, right? But I think the point is like just it's more important that people understand what you're doing than it is to make it sound like, oh my God, this is the newest thing in the world. Which is like, you know, every idea, everyone thinks that their idea is like the newest thing in the world, but I think it's more important to just like be understood. Um, and then next slide. Okay. No, that's fine. Next. Oh wait, maybe it'd be nice to have a picture of you, man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Um, I don't know if you did this. Maybe you did, but it'd be kind of cool to like kind of talk about like your personal investment in this problem. You know, like why you think this is a problem. Or you know, like kind of like build credential. Maybe you did it, man. I kind of just forgot. Um, but it wasn't like very memorable. Like I think maybe you could just say like just kind of talk like why are you like the right person to work on this, right? Because you felt the pain, like you know what it's like, and other people tell you it's a problem too, you know, or like you're just like a, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then next slide. Yeah. Again, I think you maybe could like throw a picture of like your typical like typical user.
Mhm.
Also, I would not say customer in this case because I think customers are like usually people who pay you. These are like your users. Uh, I would also even say like we're starting at Purdue. These are just my thoughts, by the way. Like,
Okay.
let's say we're targeting college students, but we're starting at Purdue, um, with new courses every semester come new. Okay, I see. Um, I guess I think it's just not clear to me what the problem is. I wish it's just like more clear. Like
Hmm.
this is the problem and that's it. Like the problem is college kids cannot form study groups because things change so much. You know, I think just being so direct about it. Like I'm looking at this, maybe it's just me, but I'm looking at this and I'm not sure I know what the problem is. Um, I don't think you should make the audience work for it. You know, just it should be enjoyable experience. Like, I should be like able to lay back and be like, oh yeah, I get what the problem is. Um, maybe it's just me. Is it just me, guys? Like, am I the only one who like not? It's not very clear what the problem is.
No, I definitely see what you mean.
Oh yeah, maybe you guys get because you guys are students, and I'm an adult. But again, maybe it's just me. I think it's just like it would just be more clear if it's like the problem is just like this is the problem, and yeah, and just make sure like it's emphasized like this is a problem. Um,
Yeah, I guess it could be a little clearer that the problem is, there's no coherent or continuous community that people can be a part of throughout
yeah,
college.
learners in a dynamic environment. I think there's a lot of jargon, like learners in a very dynamic environment, aka college. Just say it like we're college students. Like it doesn't have to be like all sexy and stuff. I just say it. We're the hard college students. They have a hard time doing this. You know, um, can't anything stay consistent? I think you kind of say some of these things. You don't need to like have it on the slide. Uh, yeah. Okay. Next slide. A dream solution. Oh yeah. Okay. Um, I think the dream solution is cool, but I think I would actually put your Discord in the beginning. Actually, I would actually try to get to the Discord and like the fact that you have 152 user. I think that's actually very interesting to me. Um, the dream slide actually feels too far away. I think it'd be cool if you talk about like this is the problem and this is how we're tackling it right now. And to gauge interest, like we shared it with a bunch of with like Purdue, and we currently have 152 students, and it's very, very active. And I've talked to students, and these are the reasons why they join. And based on these reasons, like we're like trying to build out a team right now, and like we're trying to build this like application, you know, so like make everything more efficient, you know. I would just like kind of, I think that's how I would position it. Like we have this like, yeah, because that's actually kind of cool. Like that's like real stuff. I think it's a mistake to put it at the very end. And then the dream solution all-in-one college student hub. I think it's just like jargon again. Like I don't know what that means. I just rather you just tell me what it is, or just show it to me. Again, I would not list the features. I would just focus on like the main value prop of what you're doing. And like just show me the application. Next slide. Okay, yeah, I think this could be a little bit more colorful. And I think my immediate thought when I saw this, it's just a lot going on. Like it's not clear to me what's going on. Like I think I got it, but I think it's just like a lot going on. I think you can just make it like more obvious of what's happening. And the next slide. Yeah. Yeah, see, I wasn't sure like how you went from that slide to this slide, like what changed, right? Like what button was pressed, like how did you get to here? And I still not really sure what's going on. Like I think it just looks like an app, but I kind of get it, but I'm not really sure. And then next slide.
How do you suggest I make it clear? Is it in like how I present it? Should I say like if you click this button, it leads to this page, or is it more of a something else?
I think if I were you, I would just actually just put Discord and say that these are like the top 3 things that it seems like people want. And right now we're using Discord and it's fine, but eventually we want to build an app, and this is what the app will look like, you know. I would actually not talk too much about this app because it's a little bit farther away. I don't really think you need to go into it too much. I would actually just focus more on the Discord. But if I had to talk about the app, yeah, I think I would make it very obvious what was pressed. Like maybe I would even use my mouse and just like click it so then you can see the next page. Or you can like just give a scenario, right? Like for example, like the student, if a student wanted to do this, they would go in here, they would do this, they would do that, and they would get this result. Yeah. I think the UI it's just not intuitive right now. Like which is okay. I think okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. But anyways, I think my point is if you're gonna include this, I think I would just like not, I don't know. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I think my point is like I would actually just focus more on the Discord because that's like real, like tangible stuff. That's actually more interesting to me, like why people are using it and like what you're gonna do with it, how you're gonna make money. This vision, I think you could just say it's an app because so much can change, right? Like from what your Discord is and to where it is now to what you're showing me. I would also just focus on the most important features. I think when I looked at this, I immediately just felt like, okay, there's a lot of different features. Probably like, it's just a lot of different features. I think a rookie, like not a rookie mistake, but I think for most first-time developers, they tend to build apps that just has like a lot going on. And it tends to be all over the place. Whereas it's not necessarily like the MVP, right? Like the MVP is like, what is the one thing that like this user can do on your app? And like, what is like that one thing that you're just known for, you know? Like for Airbnb, the one thing that you do in Airbnb is you book a listing, like you book a place. That's it, you know? So they're just able to just show that experience. The one thing you do on Amazon is you buy something, right? That's it. Like, you know, and one thing you do on Netflix, you watch a TV show. Like, I'm not sure what the one thing I'm doing on this app is. It seems like there's so much going on, you know? then I think most people are like that. Like most first time developers are kind of like that. Like there's a lot going on. Oh, it's called feature creeping.
Mhm.
Okay, next slide.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I was thinking of just having, because I do think I have like 5 pages of this, which I feel like is a lot as I was presenting it. So I was thinking of having this dashboard, and like you said, the one thing that we do best at, which my first idea for this whole thing was a study group finder. So I'm thinking this dashboard page and then this study group finder page. Do you think that'd be a good like show off of the app, at least like the main functionality?
Yeah, just highlight the main value prop, right? Like, I think in this is goes for everyone. In all your presentation, all your products, right? Don't list the features. Like that's just not important. Like focus on the most important stuff, which is like what is the biggest value that you provide? Like you save people time from forming their own study groups or failing classes, right? Like just focus on how you're gonna benefit people. Like focus on the value that you're creating, not your product and the stuff.
I see.
Yeah. See, Alex. Okay, next slide. Next. Yeah. Again, I think this should definitely probably be in the beginning.
Yeah.
Now we just show the Discord. Like, I actually think that was really cool. The Discord. It'd be really cool if you just show me like what people are saying on the Discord. Like, what are like why people join? Like, what are feedback you're getting? Like, I think with these pitches, like you're kind of just showing that like this is like a user. There's like a lot of people demanding for this. Like this isn't just me it's not just me who wants to build something for the sake of building something. It's because there's people telling me that this is a problem that they need it and I want to build it for them, you know? So I think it's really cool to like talk about like, hey, I just launched this freaking Discord and shit, but guess what? 150 people signed up for this shitty Discord. That shows demand, bro. The fact that people don't care that you don't have an app, people are still joining your Discord and they want what you're providing or what you're saying you're going to provide. Like that's, even if I'm the biggest skeptic, I can't like be like doubtful about that, right? You have the numbers, you have people joining your Discord. That's real stuff. So I would just really highlight that. Yeah, and I feel like you also talk too much about like no more scattered groups, the group me, like the just learn like it's sounding like kind of like a commercial.
Mhm.
But yeah, next. Oh yeah, I would highlight the 152 like much bigger. Like don't even like leave it to chance I'll miss it. Next. Okay, this is fine. I mean, personally, I would just pick one and just really focus on it,
Okay.
but it's okay, whatever. Next. Market feedback. Sure. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to get out of this slide. Multiple group chats. People already in circles. Yeah, I think if you could just like have like a few takeaways from it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking actually, because I only recently made this slide. I was thinking this slide could work for like market feedback already, like from what I've talked to like people on Discord about. Instead, it's like much more succinct. Instead of, I feel like I have repeated a few of the things in this.
I
So
don't think you need market feedback. I think you just talk about next steps. Like I think it's also this slide was actually probably one of the best slides. I personally thought it was so good. Like why are people joining your Discord? I think that's like really important, you know, like that's like, oh wow, this is like cool stuff. At least I was the most interested in this slide. Looking for helpful resources. Not really sure what that means. I would just be very specific. Like people are looking for past exams. You know, people are looking for a homework exam. I don't know, whatever. I think sometimes being very specific about what's going on is really important. And even like you said Purdue students, right? Like I imagine like there's probably courses that you're starting with, right? Like I think it's just kind of I think it's a balance of like big picture, but then also like what's happening right now, like the reality of it. But you can kind of like tell the story, right? Like this is what's happening right now. This is where we're trying to get to, you know, and if that makes sense.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Any other feedback for MJ before we move on? All right, cool. Yeah.
So, well, personally, I think that the sample interface pictures were really interesting to look at. So, maybe if it's an issue of being too excessive with listing the features and everything, you can just move through those images efficiently. But I thought that it was really helpful for me to understand like what kinds of uses and what vision you have for the app to be able to see all those different sections of the courses.
Okay, thank you.
That's cool. But I think if you're gonna put images, I would just make them look nicer. Because like it doesn't really match up with like the rest of your slides.
Yeah, for sure. I remember I wrote it on iPad and then I just like scratched it on like Figma, but just for like the layouting. But
Mhm.
definitely I did think about how it's not attractive. So I think I'm gonna lean towards some images, but more quality because I don't want to spend too much time talking about it either because it's 5 pages. It's a lot.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yes, sorry man, I kind of just went deep into it, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you everyone for your feedback. I think the presentation is gonna be much better with what you guys have said.
Yeah.
Can you pass it or
Yeah, pass it.
okay, if anyone wants to volunteer, if not, I'll pass it to Yang Zong.
Hi, awesome. I'm in not traffic, but I'm just driving right now. So, well, I'm not driving, but you get the point. So I'll be sharing from my phone. Let me know if it's weird. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, I've never seen this. I've just never seen
Okay.
share on the screen.
Yeah, me neither. This is my first time doing this. But basically, so we're Task Talent. That's like Fiverr, but for college students. A little vague, but we'll get more into it. So to start off, I'm Yangzom. I'm a rising sophomore at Cornell University. I also help manage my parents' small business on Shopify. And my current life stage is that I have no idea what to major in. And that's okay because right now this summer I've been at Speak Up, meeting a lot of cool people and learning lots and understanding that really what I want to do with my life is just continuing to create cool things and doing that by connecting people together. And so to kind of go back to Cornell, at my time there, I became president of this club called Web Dev, a beginner self learning web development club. And at my time there, we were getting a lot of DMs, quite like this, where alumni starting their own startups or coalitions were asking for web developers for their projects. And this was absolutely mind blowing because I knew for a fact that me and a bunch of other peers were consistently struggling at getting experience through internships. And so, what we want to do at Task Talent is imagine a world where every single student can get that real world experience while still in school and single company, not just the big tech ones, but even small growing ones like this guy here, creating a marketplace for show designer, can get that student talent and have a relationship where so this is what our website looks like. Very catchy. Copy got really great feedback that loves this kind of design and language. And this was advertised through LinkedIn, where we got over 10,000 impressions on the post asking for interested students. And we got them. We had an application process where we asked kids to draw where they
Did you cut out or what
they
happened?
Yeah, Noga's cutting out for me too.
That is a shame. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
I was looking interested too.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh no. Okay. Um, I'm not what you do. I'm not sure what to do here, guys.
Oh, she,
Move on.
I think she just got kicked out of the meeting.
Damn.
I didn't kick her out. I think she left. 'Cause
Some traffic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope she's okay.
MJ, do you want to pick the next person?
Yeah, sure. That's unfortunate. Adam didn't go, right? Yeah, Adam.
All right, I'll go. Thank you, MJ. Let me see which screen I'm supposed to share.
That is unfortunate. But there was one thing that fuck, we don't have time for this. Go on.
Well, it's okay. I didn't mean to interrupt or anything.
Oh, I was gonna say there was one thing that I really liked about what she did was like she showed like user demand for it. I don't know if you guys noticed that. MJ, did you notice it? Like she showed like text messages, like just people demanding for it.
Oh yeah, yeah, like how she got inspired to do this, because everyone else was asking her for something like this.
It's like user pulling you in, right? I think that's kind of like the feeling you want to give. Like, hey, it's not that I'm telling you it's a good idea. People are telling me that they want this. It's you get what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a difference. Okay, Anna, you can go.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just pulling up a couple of notes that I wrote down beforehand. Bear with me for a second. Oh, shoot, I can't find the screen anymore. Okay, here it is. Okay, can everyone see this?
Uh-huh.
All right, great. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Subtracted Sugar, a line of tasty but low sugar desserts that'll be healthier for your health and make you feel better. So I'm a member of the class of 2021, Cornell Arts and Sciences. And currently I'm finding my way through the entrepreneurship field. My long-term goals are to build successful businesses that can help people, self-sustaining businesses that are good for people, including Subtracted Sugar. And wait, what happened? Okay. And here's the problem that we want to address. So take a look at this chart here. You have all these different health issues that you've all heard of, and they're super common in America. And as it turns out, they're all issues that are caused or exacerbated by excessive sugar consumption. And this is a big part of America's reputation. You've all heard of the kinds of issues that come out of these health issues. And take a look at the desserts that are commonly sold in our country. So all of these, as you can see, have a sugar content over 20%, meaning that for over 20%, up to 40 or 50% of their content is just pure added sugar. And that's what we hope to tackle here. So public health is poor, and there's too much sugar in our desserts. And if you go into the supermarket, you might be looking for an option that tastes as good as these, but that isn't as harmful for your health. And Subtracted Sugar hopes to provide those options for you. So our solution is a line of inexpensive, mass-producible desserts that are virtually indistinguishable from all the other tasty big brand desserts that you can get and that you enjoyed as a child, but that are just lower in sugar, that don't have that, frankly, absurd amount that these big brands put in their foods. And we're starting with a basic Raisin Bran cookies, but we'll be adding on to our repertoire later on. The slide is out of order, but I'm going to jump back to this. So we're targeting people who are health conscious, but who also enjoy having sweet desserts. Most people are health conscious. They care about what they eat and taking care of themselves, but they would rather not be eating something that makes them feel guilty and that affects them in a negative way. So we aim to help those people out in being able to enjoy their lives better with these kinds of tasty foods, but without affecting their health in a bad way, the way these big brand common desserts do. Our business model is very simple. So I just need to buy ingredients, bake the desserts, sell them, and make profit. Based on my analysis, the cost that I incur from the ingredients per cookie is about 40 cents, give or take. And that'll depend on, the kind of cookie that you get to. But the price per cookie is also approximately 80 cents. So that's a pretty decent profit margin. And we can work at improving them as we get into mass production. And as I said, most people are health conscious. Most people do care about taking care of themselves and feeling good and giving themselves better longevity. And most people would also choose the healthier food options when all else is equal, when things are just as good as each other, when they're just as tasty. So because health conscious people want to be informed about their health, we're going to devote a lot of effort to informing people about dessert options and the effects that various desserts have on their health. And in that way, we'll establish ourselves as a decent, honest dessert brand that will be that will produce good product, but that'll be, anyway, I wasn't sure where I was going with that one, but people enjoy the subtracted desserts that we've produced so far. About 75% of our prospective customers would buy our cookies over some of the big brand high sugar cookie options that they typically enjoy. So yeah, thank you. Help us create better dessert options for you that'll help you enjoy life, but will reduce your guilt and make you healthier.
Okay. All right, guys. What are your thoughts?
I'm curious, how'd you get the number 75%?
Oh, I just surveyed people, like I just asked some people who have tasted the product or have seen it and know the ingredients that I tell them, and about 75% say that they'd be very interested in this cookie and that they would buy it for this price as opposed to other stuff like Chips Ahoy or Oreos or Costco cookies or whatever.
Out of how many though? Like,
Not that many. Like I haven't, surveyed a huge number of people, but it's over a dozen.
Shouldn't you say that? Because I feel like 75% is so misleading. What does that mean?
Um, yeah, but I mean, I can certainly provide more information than information that I withhold, but um, like I know that that's not a very convincing number. So like I wouldn't just
Really? I
be
feel like
completely open about that.
I think it's fine. You can say we surveyed several dozen people, and like 75% of them say we want this. I think it's more convincing than just saying 75% of people.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll put that in there.
Anyone have other thoughts? Rashid, I think I said you were about to mute yourself.
I feel like I would like to see like just more like visuals, honestly.
Yeah. 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 It's a work in progress. But yeah, I do need to add some visuals. And honestly, I think that I need to adjust the target audience thing too. Like because that was part of the feedback that Jeff gave me last time. That I can't be too general about whom I'm targeting. I should be a bit more specific and a bit more strategic about how I market this.
Yeah. I think you could definitely add more pictures. It just wasn't very exciting. Like, I'm just giving you my honesty back. I don't know. I think cookies are like supposed to be kind of fun, right? I think of MMMs. Like, MMM world, man. It's like a fun thing, right? I think you can make your presentation just way more exciting.
Yeah.
Like maybe throwing some colors, some pictures. It just felt very dry. And personally, I don't know. I think it could just be like more exciting. Also, I think you went a little over time. So yeah, try to cut it back. And I think the biggest reason why like you went over time, which is like I don't know if you know what you're saying or you know what you want to say. Uh
Yeah.
I think I would just like really like hone in on that. Like I think the visualization technique might be able to help. Like just for every slide, just know what you want to say, man, and just say it. Like I think you're just like, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it. I say it like that. Just say it. Yeah, I don't know. I think you could just sound more definitive about what you want to say. Uh, Pictures, yeah. So, a lot of pictures, man. Dude, cookies, come on. You can make it so much more fun. Um, Also, I think you also said a lot of very obvious stuff, and I just kind of tuned out because it's so obvious. Like people prefer to eat healthier. Oreos have a lot of sugar. People don't want to eat sugar.
Yeah.
No shit. Like, it's just nothing new. You weren't really adding anything new, and it was just like, oh, okay. Nothing was like I don't know. I'm kind of nitpicking, but I just didn't feel like it was like I just didn't think that was a good presentation. Like I'm like being very like nitpicky. I know. But I just think it could be so much more exciting, right? Like, dude,
Yeah.
cookies. Like, what did you learn when you make these cookies? Like, like you can. I think you can add a lot of very unique insight just based on what you've done and like what people are telling you. Like instead of just stating like statistics that are very like everyone knows that stuff. Like cookies aren't healthy. Like, okay, so what? What are you gonna do about it? Like,
Okay.
what are your thoughts? I don't know. I wasn't too mean with my feedback.
No, that was fine. Like you're right. You're right. I could have prepared more, and once I find the time for it, I'll prepare for this Thursday. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I couldn't really think of how to make the concept more, I guess, more profound or more attractive. Because like the way I've thought about it, it really is just a simple, very simple thing. Which is that when I go into the supermarket, and when a lot of other people I've spoken with go to the supermarket and look at dessert options, it's just there's too much sugar in them if they want to look for something that's lower in sugar content. And you know, any of those dessert companies could do what I'm doing, but for some reason they don't produce options that are basically identical but have less sugar. So I just want to do that until, you know, one of the larger competitors goes ahead and fills that that niche in the market. You know what I mean? So like I just wasn't really sure how to make something like that more, you know, I guess more compelling or more, you know, it's supposed to be very simple.
I think that's fine. Like keep it
Yeah.
simple. Like it's
Yeah.
okay. Like I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
simple, keep it short, than like
Yeah.
bullshit me for like 5 minutes on how sugar is bad for me, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it is
Now, but
not.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. Like I agree that it could be better, but you know, uh, like, do you have any kinds of tips on what I should be, you know, bringing up or what I should be addressing to make it more interesting and less obvious?
I think one, just talk about like why you care about this problem, you know? Like talk about you a little bit. Like, hey, my grandma like loves cookies, but there's no good alternative and she developed diabetes and now I want to solve this problem. You know, like for one, I just want to get to know you a little bit, right? Like, you know, like I think the get to know you page, I think you can maybe add a picture of yourself or like add a picture of a cookie. Like, I don't know. Like just I think you can just be a little more animated and I want to get to know you also. And I'm like, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to get a law degree, you know, like it's something that I want to do on the side. Like I think that's like cool stuff, you know? Like I think that's just one, it's just more interesting because I'm learning more about you. Um, and I think maybe you can also just talk about like why this is such an important thing for you. Like why are you working on this? Do you like sweets? Like do you notice that when you go to supermarkets that there are just like no healthy alternatives, and it's just for some reason like I don't get it. So you develop this cookie and a lot of people seem to like it, and people say that they want to buy it. Around like a few dozen people said that they want to buy it for you and that they would choose it over the other cookies, and that like you've done some pre-order. Like, you know, I think you could just make it sound like, I think if you talk about yourself and your experience, like your perspective, your lens on it, that's just more interesting to me. Um, you remember how I talked about how like logos, pathos, ethos? You gave a lot of logos, like a lot of logic, and logically, yes, obviously, right, important. But I think what it's missing is like the emotions, and also like a little bit of like the credentials, right? You don't need a lot of credentials. Just like the fact that you bake a cookie, like just talk about that. And like you actually do know how to make a cookie. Like, you know how to like get sales. Like, just I think you could talk a lot. I'll just add a little bit more emotion to it and share more about yourself.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's all. That's all good advice, and you know, I'll see what I can do with it by Thursday.
Okay, cool. Noga, is Noga back or what's up?
Oh yeah, my bad. I am. I'm sorry about that, guys.
No, it was actually pretty good. Yeah, it was actually pretty good for what it
Yeah,
was.
I was the only thing left was kind of just like the business model is that we're gonna charge like a $2 fee for like being on the website. And then which I'm but and that we're trying to start a revolution, basically bringing the power back to students rather than companies being able to take whatever talent they want. But yeah, any feedback is super appreciated.
Wait, is that a real business model? Like you're gonna charge $2 for people to post on your website?
So it's like the freelancing contract that students will have, like that's still gonna stay. Like the actual project that students are doing, that will be based on a freelancing contract. Like, and I don't know if that's something that should be emphasized. It's just the business model itself.
I think you just keep it simple. Like, how do you make money? I just make it very simple. Like, how do you guys make money? I think you're also getting into it, like how many signups you guys are getting, like how many responses. That was honestly, I really liked your presentation because you talked a lot about the user. Like it felt like the user was pulling you to do this. It wasn't just like, oh, I have this idea and I want to do it. It was like, hey, there's user demand for it. the users are demanding me to do it, they're begging me to do it, and therefore I'm
Right.
gonna do it, and this is what's gonna happen. This is what it's gonna look like. So how we're gonna make money. No.
Totally. Yeah. Just like the random like DMs from the web dev thing, or yeah, those screenshots were important.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Adam, who do you want to go next? Okay.
How about Shorna?
Yeah, I can go next. I actually have to leave at 2 as well. Thank you, Adam.
No problem.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the project I'm working on is called 10-Minute English. It's teaching students ages 10 to 18 English in Bangladesh. So this is about me. My name is Sharna. I'm 19 years old, planning to major in chemical engineering at Cornell. I do have a strong interest in business and finance, and I'm eager to learn both technical and soft skills. My goal for joining Speak Up Ventures was to learn how to start a business, and my 5-year goal is to graduate college and have my startup running. So the problem that I've noticed is that 20% of the global population speaks English, but only 12% of Bangladesh speaks English. I have done this research after I saw that on Facebook, relatives were reaching out to me, but they're writing in Bengali, and I don't know how to read Bengali or write Bengali. So there was this disconnect that I had to use Google Translate to understand what they were saying. So after that, I thought it would be very useful if they understood English, if they were able to learn English, so that they can also be confident about their abilities and communicate with literally almost everybody in this world, because I believe the big population speaks English. So my target audience is young children ages 10 to 18 and parents of these children who will hopefully encourage their kids to take up on this initiative and learn English to advance their career and the life in general. So the solution I have is to follow a curriculum that I will make. It would only be for like 10 minutes. I will also offer personalized tutoring for students that will be available upon request, and there would be a free 2 weeks trial to have them see how this curriculum works, whether they like it or not, before they actually become a full-time customer. So this is a sample curriculum. This Adam recommended that I have some lessons. So this is what I have come up with. So it's basically using a versus and for certain subjects. So these are 5 questions. So they'll have to fill in a or and based on the lesson that I have put here. My business model. So there are 3 things that I was thinking of. One is charging like 500 taka per student, which is equivalent to like $4 in the US. Second is work with organizations interested in improving education. And third was also working with schools that are interested in helping their students learn English. The one that I was able to get hold of was actually organizations, because I've seen that they were actually interested in helping students learn English, as that's something they value as well. So I posted my link on Facebook. There were not much traction with customers. That like literally no one was responding. But once I reached out to an organization called Jago, I got a response back from them. So this is an email that I sent to them saying that I looked at their website. I was also interested in helping young children and wanted to learn more about them, and if there's anything that I could do to help out. They replied back to me, which I didn't actually expect. And that was really nice. So they were like thrilled to hear that I'm also interested in supporting them. They wanted to know what I wanted to do. So then I proposed what I was thinking about, which is basically helping students learn English in Bangladesh. And they thought it would be incredibly beneficial for them as well, opening doors for both educational and career opportunities. And they wanted my contact info, which I provided them. So overall, I think that's how it's a nonprofit organization. So basically I'm hoping to work with them and see if I can actually make this something that would help more than just a couple of students in Bangladesh. My key takeaways from this program is right here, not taking things personally, trying to provide value because you're here to give. And also, even if you're not sure about what to do with your idea, you just need to start. So as I said, I wasn't expecting the response back from the organization, and that getting that response back actually motivated me to further this initiative to help students in Bangladesh. And yeah, thank you. If there's any questions.
Cool. Any thoughts, guys?
Man, I'm proud of you. Go you for the response back.
Thank you.
I think the kid could be like tighter. You're at like 4 minutes 30 seconds. Let's like really strive for 3 minutes.
Wait, so I have to make the pitch.
Oh, like I mean, like just try to make it like tighter. Because you're at 4 minutes 30 seconds.
All right. Okay.
Like try to strive for like everyone. Just try to strive for 3 minutes. Okay. I thought it was pretty good. I think you could add more pictures. Like for example, picture of you, picture of the students. Just add more pictures. If you gotta add a picture, add a picture. Just way more, like just more visually appealing. If it's a picture.
I mean, I can my picture, but the students, can I like take the Chicago organization's pictures?
Who cares? I'm not gonna know. I don't think anyone really cares. I think just like as long as you communicate what you're trying
Okay.
to say, like through visually. Like I think the work with nonprofit thing is really cool. I'm not really sure where you're gonna try to go with that. I actually think that should be like probably like that was actually very shocking. I think I was very like thrown off by it, but it's really cool. I think maybe your story can kind of like tie into it a little bit better. Like I know that you're not sure how you want to make money and that you have like a few different options, but I feel like I think you can pick one and like kind of tie it into like, hey, we're working with nonprofits,
Okay.
hey, we got this, instead of just making it feel like it just kind of just suddenly happened, which I'm sure it kind of did, but I'm sure you had like an intention behind it, right? Like, I think similarly for everyone, like when you're pitching these, just sound more confident. Like we're doing this, and these are results, and this is what's happening. Like this is like we want to work with nonprofits. It's not like, oh, we could work with nonprofits. We could also do this, and oh, look, an email came out too. Like you just sound like you're all over the place, which you could be, but you don't need to sound like that or present.
Okay. Right. So just like keep the nonprofit organization part and remove the other two things that I was mentioning for business models.
Yeah, whatever you need to do. Personally, I would just like sound more confident, like just sound more definitive.
All right.
I hate saying confident, but I'm just like, these are matter of facts, like.
Yeah, no. I just had like 3 plans in mind, so that was what happened to work out. So that's,
Okay.
Yeah, but I agree with your point. So definitely make it more definitive. So yeah, I'll remove the other 2 and make it more clear.
Oh, totally. Like if you're not clear, I'm not clear. Like and
no, I am clear, but I am clear, but
we're all fucked if you're not clear. Okay. All right, next person.
Oh yeah, so I think it's Rishit left. No, Rishit and
you.
Rishit,
yeah. You go first.
Do it.
So how do I give him the screen share permission?
The screen share. There's nothing to give.
All right, great. Let me pop it up real quick. Hold on.
What is that stomping sound?
What?
No, go ahead.
All right. Leveling finance. So we're empowering the youth with financial education. This problem is very important to me because one of my friends, we'll name him Jeff, literally just like spent his entire paycheck on a pair of Jordans like last month. So I think it's very important that we gotta impart knowledge on the youth. So about me, I'm 16 years old. I'm a sophomore at BMHS, and my current role is an entrepreneur while also being a student. I joined Speak Up to access mentorship, resources, and network to boost my impact on improving financial literacy for teens. And my 5-year goals is to scale my app to more than 1,000 schools and expand globally. So my target market. So here's Jessica, right? She just graduated and she spent $7,000 on a Louis Vuitton bag, right? She's smiling right now, but she's not going to be smiling for long. She'll be very sad. She spent all of her money. Now she's broke. And here's Mary. She's a teacher. She taught Jessica when she was in high school, but she realized that none of her students were doing any of the work. They were just like looking at the spreadsheets, copy and pasting the answer key that they found, and that's it. They weren't engaged. And that caused both of them to be very sad because Jessica is now broke and Mary is a horrible teacher. The problem: Americans are not financially literate. Only 57% of American adults are financially literate, and the majority of adults even rank finances as their primary stressor. And most American teens are not confident in their financial knowledge. This is bad because the teenagers in America are going to become adults soon, and they are the next generation. So if they are not educated, then our future is not educated. Even 15% of American adults lost over $10,000 last year due to a lack of financial literacy. That's a total of $390 billion lost. The solution: we connect students to the educational resources they need to thrive financially by offering a real-time stock portfolio simulator and immersive learning experience, by allowing them to be engaged in a real-world focused financial educational experience built by students for students. So they get to choose like a major and like go through multiple decision-making simulation and live out their life in 10 years. So our business model: we have free plus ads, empowering students with no cost barrier, and a monthly subscription, enhancing classrooms with insights and analytics. So Jessica can use our app for free and not spend all of her money in one place and invest, making that $7,000 turn into $14,000. And Mary can use our app in her classroom and make sure her students are engaged. Building momentum: we have reached students from 9 different school districts, and we have got lots of positive feedback from high school students and teachers. Some differences in opinion on how to display content, but overall, very positive remarks. And we are acquiring new users daily. Thank you. You can also scan the QR code to reach our website.
Okay, guys, what do you guys think?
I like following the user persona thing, like how you gave us the example of your friend, Jeff. I think um it would be interesting though to connect that to the big problem that you're tying about Americans not being financially literate. Um, but yeah, overall though, like it makes sense.
I actually got lost in the personas. Maybe it's just me, because you mentioned them a second time, and I'm like, wait, who's Jessica and who's Mary again? Like, who's the teacher, who's the student?
That's valid. I low-key like made the names up like on the spot.
Um, yeah, I forgot who they were. So that kind of just flew over my head.
Mm.
Um, okay, I think it's just not clear to me what your solution is either. Can you go back actually to your slides?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, guys, what do you guys think about the solution slide? It can't just be me.
I think it's did too many words and it sounds kind of broad. Yeah, like
Mhm.
stock portfolio simulator.
Mhm.
I guess you could, make the wording a bit more efficient. Like instead of writing out those lengthy full sentences, you could just, put a bullet point for educational resources to thrive financially, real-time stock portfolio simulator, and so on and so on. But I do appreciate that you put in these visuals now,
Mm.
or what the interface would look like.
Thanks.
Yeah. I think you should just highlight, like really emphasize like what the like what is the takeaway? I hate that the solution is like taking up the same amount of space as like like I don't mean like two of your bullets combined. That's just like a pet peeve. Like, if I look at this, like, what am I supposed to get out of this? Like, just like really like, look, I think like I think there's like a saying where like you should obviously make sure like you should assume that like your audience is smart enough, right? But at the same time, you really don't want your audience to miss anything, right?
Mm.
I look at this, I think there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the third bullet, is that really necessary? Built by students. Our platform offers an engaging real-world financial education experience. My God, I don't think you really need that. Like, I think I would just be like, I would be very frugal about what I'm putting on my slides.
Mhm.
Because I don't want anyone to miss it. Like, what is the key takeaway? Like, dude, think about like by the time they get to you, right, or like any of you guys, right? Like, the people have already probably seen like dozens of slides. Just make it very easy for them.
Mm.
I think if you can, like every slide should have like one sentence if you can. Like, just I don't want you to miss it. Like, this is this is our solution. I think the app is cool, but I'm also not really sure what I'm supposed to take away from the app. It just feels like a chart, choose your major, and congratulations on graduate. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take away from it.
Like,
I'm also not sure like how you're educating people financially with a real-time stock portfolio simulator.
like if you're like learning about stocks and stuff, like if you have like the ability to like actually like invest and like you'd like learn like how much to like spend on like stuff, I guess. Because like the whole thing, so like you have like a job, once you make like $65,000 a year, you have like a certain amount you have to like spend on like life expenses, like car insurance, all that. And then you also have to like, I don't know, do you want to buy a car? Do you want to like, spend a bunch of money? Or you just like being super frugal? Like, are you gonna invest a bunch of it? Like all
Okay.
that.
I would just make it obvious, right? Like we build an app that like lets kids like make real world decisions
Mm.
on our like so that they understand. Like, I wouldn't say the word simulator or immersive learning experience or educational resources to thrive. Like, none of these words mean anything. They're just jargon.
Mm.
Just say exactly what you're building, what you're doing, and how you're helping people.
Mm.
It's just a bunch of nonsense is how I see it. Like, it just all flies over me. I almost kind of being rough on you because like I think we've kind of been over this like week after week.
Mm.
I don't understand what you're building because it's not clear to me. And I think you can be just so clear.
Mhm.
I don't know, am I making sense or
It's like
people also
jargon.
tell me I'm bullshitting. I don't know if I'm not making sense.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I feel like
Just
I
say
need to,
exactly what you're doing. Like, we give
like,
kids like fake money so that they can like make real financial decisions, you know, like fake life. I just wouldn't try to sound like anything more than what it is.
Mm.
I don't know, guys. What are your thoughts? Like, I don't know. Am I like, am I not? I don't. You guys also you guys can also disagree with me, right? These are just my opinions.
No, but I feel like that makes sense though. Like I feel like I relate to jogging. I feel like I should like try like do like what Noga did and like just like have like really like little amount of words on the page, but like just like talk the rest of it.
Yeah. Also, I saw that your homework. You said that you said that teachers responded.
No, yeah, I got a couple teachers.
Honestly, very curious what they're saying, right? Like, I think, and like, I know you talk to students too. I think it should be cool to hear from their perspective. Like,
Mm.
are they telling you that when they become a real adult, they've never like, they've never like, they've never had to make these decisions, so you're creating a way for them to make these decisions younger? You know, what are teachers saying to you? You know, I also think, I think for your thing, like you should mention teachers probably a little bit more, because
Mm.
look, it's also not clear to me how you're making money as well.
Mhm.
You have ads, and you have teachers paying you. I think it'd just be like, I think you should just be more definitive. I guess everyone just has to be more definitive. And just be more definitive about like what's going on.
Mm.
You know, if teachers are paying you, and teachers are paying you, and say that you've reached out to teachers and these are the responses, and you
Mm.
know, if students are paying you, then say students are paying you. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, what do you think?
But I mean that kind of makes sense, but I feel like it kind of just says it. I don't know, like how much deeper can I go into that? It's just like students like can access it for free, but they have ads displayed, and like teachers like you have to pay a monthly subscription per student. I'm just like curious like as to how like I would like implement.
Okay, you can just say free for teachers. Again, it's just kind of like sorry, just say like free for students, and like we charge teachers, right? I think you could just minimize the amount of like one. I kind of just like didn't even see this. I think, like I said, I think you just make it obvious, right? Like, I don't know why free ads and like the monthly subscription is the same font size as like empowering students with no cost barrier.
Mhm.
One, I think free is already in no cost barrier. I don't think it's just repetitive. Like, again, like be very frugal about what you're putting on our slide, and then like really highlight the main takeaways, right? If I'm looking at the slide, you probably want me to know how you're making money, right? So literally say it in like big bold fonts. This is how we make money.
Mhm.
You know, it shouldn't be small. Like, this is not the time to be elegant. It's the time to like just say what you want. Like, make sure your message is communicated.
Mhm.
And if that is how you make money, I think you should probably talk a little bit about that. Like, the fact that you did reach out to teachers, what were their responses? What did they say?
Mhm.
Are they willing to sign with you?
Mhm.
Actually, yeah, what were the responses when you reach out to teachers?
Well, like they said that they'd be like willing to use it in like their like in our school we have like a thing called advisory, and it's like kind of like homeroom, but it's like only on like 2 days a week, but it's like kind of long, and like usually there's like it's it's kind of like chill. Like sometimes there's like stuff we have to like do like assignments, I guess, but usually we just like do nothing. But yeah, so like during those, like they were saying that they would like be willing to like do that during their like advisory period.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. So what does that mean? Like, they're willing to use it for their students, or?
yeah, because like usually like they have like I don't know, like sometimes there's like PSAs and stuff like that, or like it's like other like random crap during like advisory periods. But like they're like saying like if there's like a leaderboard and stuff like that, they would like it's like a 15 to like 20 minute like period. So they can spend
Okay.
like yeah.
So my understanding is like they're willing to use it
Mhm.
for their class. Are they willing to pay you too?
Well, like they were saying that that's like above them, like it's like a administrator decision. So yeah,
Well, then you're not just charging teachers, you're charging the administrators, right?
yeah.
So you should probably reach out to them, and that should probably be on your slides. Like,
Mm,
so you're building for teachers, then like, then you got to say it. Like, you're not just building for students, you're building for classrooms.
mm,
I think it's interesting. I think for you, you just need to mention teachers more. Like, I feel like you're not painting the whole picture, and I think that's why it's a little confusing too.
mm,
Like this, like the way you're kind of presenting it as the way you're presenting it to me, at least, it feels like this is a phone app, and there's just like teachers that are supposed to subscribe to it. It's not clear that teachers are using it for their homeroom and they're distributing it to students, and you are working with school admins and they are the one paying you. It's not clear that that's the case, right?
yeah. So like focus more on like the administrator aspect and like how it's like the whole like school ecosystem, not just like the teachers or just the students, like the whole like
I think you just got to tell me what your app is, like who are different people involved and how you make money,
mm,
you know, and like what is the feedback telling you? Like the fact that teachers are saying that too, that is a really good thing.
mm,
You should be that should be on your deck, man. That should definitely be you should tell me that,
mm,
because otherwise I'm just skeptical about it. I'm like, okay, how is this different from everything else? Like, do people even want it? You know, those are my thoughts. Like, what is this even? You know, but if you tell me that teachers telling you that they're going to use it, I'm like, okay, so it seems like there's some user demand for it. I wonder why. And then you could go into like, teachers want it because of these reasons, you know, like, and this is what's lacking in classrooms. Like, you don't need to go all macro and like tell me about how like America is illiterate, which, yeah, obviously, right? But like, tell me like, what is the actual problem? Like, who are the people you're serving? Who are the people you're helping? And like, how are you helping them?
mm.
That making sense? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, what are your thoughts? Like, I just want to make sure you're good. Like,
So like I should focus less on like the very overall because like the problem stuff and like the solution stuff is very like jargony, I guess. And like the problem, like I guess like less words on like the like adults are like financially illiterate. Most teens are not confident. The majority of adults like rank it as the like primary stressor. Like I feel like that might be too much. So like maybe I'll like say like instead of like I don't know, most American teens are not confident in their financial knowledge, I'll be like, maybe I'll go back to the personas. I'll be like, Jessica is not confident in her finances. And like maybe another one will be like the other lady, like, I don't know, Mary, like has trouble having her students actually like be engaged by like the like educational content, and as a side effect they aren't like actually like taking it to heart. They're not like actually like learning anything, they're just kind of like doing it.
if you want to go that route, you can. I think how I see it is like, I think I remember you telling me like this is like a personal problem, right? Like you notice that people around you like are just not financially literate, and then you see that this is a problem, and schools are not teaching it, or schools are trying to teach it, and they don't not doing a job.
Mhm.
I think you can just talk about your own experience, like why are you working on this? Like,
Mhm.
is your school trying to teach it and it's like just awful? You know, I think you just make it into a more of a story, as to like why is this a problem? Like why is it a problem? Why is it a big problem? And like how are you involved in it?
Mhm.
You know, which I think you told me, right? Like, wait, also the person teacher said yes. Is this your school?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So you have personal experience then, right? Why not just say that? Like, this is something that I noticed even within my own school. So I reached out to my school and I shared with them what I'm working on. And originally it was built for students, you know, to teach financial literacy, but talking to the teachers, teachers want to use it for their homeroom. So now we're kind of adapting it from a mobile to a web, and like we're incorporating like features that teachers want. Turns out when I talk to them, teachers want it for these reasons. And right now we're trying to charge for it, but they tell us we have to talk to the school admins, and we're gonna have that conversation next week. But you see how much more convincing it is, because it's not just like on a macro level, 90% of Americans are illiterate, and it's just so far away. Like, yeah, I think it just sounds nicer when it's like, I'm Richie and I'm working on this because I notice a problem with the people around me, with my friends and my school. And I originally built this for students, but now you see, it's just a narrative. Like, I'm not telling you what to say, right? But my point is, you can make honestly anything into a narrative, like just framing it. It's about your delivery. You don't have to like only talk about the business model because it's the business model slide. I'm only going to talk about the problem because it's the problem slide. You can actually make it into more of a story of like, what are you doing? Am I making any sense to you? Like, does that make any sense to you?
Yeah. So like, I'm like kind of like limiting myself to like whatever's on the slide, even though I can like go beyond that.
You're totally limiting yourself. You also don't even sound interested because like you're just reading what's on the slide. But if it's more of a story, like I'm Richie, and I'm telling you about my experience. Who's gonna dispute that? How can anyone dispute that? Even if I don't agree with your idea or I don't agree with your app, you are just sharing your experience, and I'm just listening, and that's like a story, right? That's what storytelling is, right? You're just sharing your experience of what has happened and what you've noticed and what you're gonna do about it, and what people are telling you. Like these are indisputable things, right? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like, lean more into the narrative.
Yes, it's all about narrative. Like, life is all about narrative.
Or like for like the problem slide, should I just like get rid of all like the statistics, or like how
Go back to it. Go back to it.
Yeah. What do you suggest I do?
What is the problem? Look, I think you could have one broad sentence just like telling me like on a macro level, Americans are not literate. Like 50% of people have this issue. It's the biggest stressor. But I also notice it in my own high school, like this isn't just like a macro problem. Like this is like a real problem. It's not just like, it's not that like, how people talk about global warming, and for the longest time, no one really gave a shit about global warming. But it wasn't until like the sky turned orange that it became like a bit of an issue. That's kind of what I mean, right? You can talk all macro and all high level, okay, give a shit. But when the sky turns orange and I can't go outside because I'm breathing ash, okay, now it's a problem. Similar for you, right? Like, okay, you're telling me American financial literate, okay, all these statistics, okay. Is that really what's motivating you to solve this problem? Probably not, right? It's probably most likely because it hit kind of close to home. I think this is kind of what YC means when they say that it's not about your problem or your solution. It's about you as the individual, right? You want to present yourself as, there is this problem and I want to solve it, and I'm gonna solve it. That's the type of person that you want to be, an interesting person, not just this person that's reading these slides because of these macro issues that you just don't seem human. Like, you can make yourself more human. Like, you are 16 years old, you go to this school, you take these business classes, you notice that everyone who comes out of these business classes are still financially illiterate. The alums get massive amount of debt. You notice in your brother, like, you just make yourself a more human being. Well, people get attached to the human. People do not get attached to your app, like emotionally attached. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. But am I making any sense to you? Like, are you following what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, guys. Also, like, Don't just let me go off. Like if you guys like disagree with some of the stuff I'm saying, like of course correct me. Or like give your own opinions too, you know, because these are I'm just sharing my opinions. MJ, what do you think? Adam, what do you think?
No, yeah, I'm definitely realizing just for everyone's presentations in general, like the importance of like making the problem seem real. And it just so happens that stories seem to be like a really good way to do that, which I try to incorporate, and I think we all could do better, which yeah, it's just a very important thing to do to make it seem like urgent.
That is a really good way of saying it, making it seem real. Yeah, that's actually probably the perfect way of saying it, just making it seem real and urgent. Okay. Okay. Do you want to go?
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to be.
Okay. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, raise your hand if you've had instant ramen ever. Okay. How about in the past 3 months? Okay. Yeah. And then now let me ask you this. How often do you find yourself choosing between convenience and nutrition? With balanced ramen, you no longer have to compromise. So who am I? I am a registered dietitian nutritionist. I'm graduating with a master's in nutrition from Cornell, also VP of the Cornell Venture Entrepreneurship Club. Right now I'm 23 years old, transitioning from school to work. And I joined Speak Up because I wanted the street smart version of entrepreneurship. And in 5 years, I hope to be a nutrition influencer, have my own consultant business and startup. I'm also a food enthusiast and yeah, photographer. Yeah, so meet Sarah. She is 31 years old, a marketing manager in NYC. So she's very busy and has no time for cooking. And she loves her instant ramen, but really worries about weight gain, diabetes, and hypertension. So similar to Sarah, in the many clients I consult, many times they know how to eat healthy or nutritiously, they just don't have the time to prep for it. So that's the problem. Busy individuals often struggle to find quick, healthy meal options. And traditional instant ramen, while it's delicious and convenient, but it's often unhealthy. So here's the solution I developed, which is a healthy instant ramen that is quick, healthy, and tasty. It's made with high fiber whole grains, freeze-dried vegetables and seasonings, low sodium broth, and then no preservatives. So to generate revenue, the most obvious one is to generate direct sales through e-commerce platforms, and also partnering with local grocery stores, supermarkets, and also health professionals like doctors and dietitians like myself to recommend the solution to their clients. And then a subscription model offering monthly deliveries of new and favorite flavors. I would like to develop many different flavors that are culturally authentic. For example, in China, there are many different types and flavors of noodles. Yeah, so currently, from customer discovery, I find that taste is a major factor, and there are different preferences for textures. And I've tried out some competitive products with other people, and then they all have some spicy comments about them. And I'm like learning from the competitive products. I'm also collaborating with food science experts on formulation. Yeah, I don't know if I need to go over this slide. But basically, the main takeaway I getting from Speak Up Ventures just to really getting started with not so perfect version and continuously refining it with user input, reduce perfectionism and getting started is something that I've struggled with, but I'm working on, and really just do more and think fast. Yeah, thank you.
You guys, what do you guys think? Adam, MJ, we got small enough for crew now. Might actually be.
What was that last thing you said?
No, what do you guys think?
Oh, okay. Well, you said something about you guys are what enough?
Oh no,
to-
we're like small enough for a group now where we could just have like
Oh.
a conversation.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I think that was pretty good overall, to be honest. The design of the slides is really nice. You know, it's you know, I'd say it's better than the version you had before last week. And one thing that came to mind was at the very beginning of the presentation when, you know, you did that little survey question for all of us about, you know, how many of us has ramen and so on. You know, I guess I'd recommend, you know, for a question like that, maybe go with something that has a lower risk of having a lackluster response. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's pretty likely that maybe none of the judges, or like only one or two of them, are gonna answer yes to that, and in that case, that could like put a damper on the momentum of your presentation in some way. You know, so just something to keep in mind. You can go with something, you know, more general, more universal, or whatever.
Adam, I like the way you
I
get.
think
It's very like, very nice. I need to learn from.
Thank you. Yeah, 3 months is probably a stretch. Probably just like if you ever had instant ramen. Really? Do you guys didn't eat instant ramen in the last 3 months?
I mean, I didn't buy it for myself actually, but yeah, I did have some instant ramen.
Cool. MJ, what did you think?
No, yeah, a lot of the same thoughts. The design's nice. And the thing about like interacting with the audience, I think that's one of the first who did it here at least. But yeah, like Adam said, same feedback. Like sometimes, especially because they're just four, you know, to a room of many people, it'd be different. But it is really good to have that interaction. It reminds me of what Jeff was saying about asking the who, what, when, blah, blah questions. So I think that was really good start to it. Yeah, I like the colors, but somehow at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, like bland at some ways. I feel like, I don't know, I guess it's the thing with food stuff or like a physical product is like there's nothing I want more than to like see it, which is hard to do. So sometimes obviously there's a lot different. It would be cool if there's like a Figma for food, but whoa, guys, think about that. Startup. But yeah, I liked it. It was really good.
Yeah. I know it's pretty cool. I think you could like actually add real pictures of ramen. It doesn't even have to be like the actual like ramen. I think you can just like take some pictures from Google or like just so I can see what the real ramen looks like. I think it would just add like a level of like realness, like a realism to it. And I know you had like some fun pictures too. I think you could like also include that. I thought it was okay. I think maybe you could have made it like a little bit like more personal. Like like I don't know, maybe I'm really into like just getting to know the other person. I feel like you kind of okay, can you go back to slide 2? Also, wait, what is street smart entrepreneurship? I didn't know what that meant.
I thought, like book smart and street smart. Does that make sense? No.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I see. Like book smart. Right?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know if I fully get it, but okay.
Well, maybe you could say joined SV because or joined SV to earn entrepreneurship street smarts, or joined the SUV for entrepreneurship street smarts, where the street smarts would be the noun, the object that you're trying to attain from SUV.
Does
Wow.
it make yeah.
Um, yeah. Honestly, I don't really have any like strong feedback about it. I think it's just very like straight to the point. Which is fine. I think it was okay. It was pretty good. How can be
Yeah, I think
better?
it's just hard to, I think it's hard for me to ref say like about traction, because actually I think many of my like college friends, they don't care about health. They just want ramen.
Oh, actually, wait. Can you go back to like the slide one? And it's like slide two. Just keep going. Just go down. Like okay. All right, keep going. Keep going. Oh, business model. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Business model. Go back to business model. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you have 3 different ways of making money. That's fine. Which one would you focus on first?
I think um yeah, actually I think traditionally is people start selling it online and then they like go into grocery stores. But I think for my product, I can also partner up with like if like I'm that dietitian, I can recommend this product to my clients. And I can recommend it to other dietitians, recommend it to their clients. So I feel like this and the e-commerce are more realistic than grocery stores.
I think maybe for you, have like what are you gonna do right now? Like actually how are you gonna make money right now? And then like where you want to be. Because that's a lot. And each one of them is gonna be like
Yeah.
um and it's okay to like test. Obviously you should test it. But I think for the sake of like presenting it, probably just maybe it sounds better to like just know like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Just because it's the easiest thing to do right now and we have the most connections. But like in the future, we want to do this, you know?
So yeah, so are you talking like about like pre-ordering on the website or more like
Sorry.
talk? So for that, are you talking about like pre-ordering on the website or more like talking with other dietitians and recommending it to their clients?
Wait, I don't think I understand your
Oh,
question.
yeah. So you're saying about like, yeah, I'm just thinking about what's the like most feasible, or maybe like, are you referring to kind of like pre-ordering on a website?
Oh no, I'm not referring to anything. I'm just saying like, look, you know how they say like it's really hard to give like startup advice because everyone's life and like expertise and connections is so different. I think similarly for you, what is easiest for you? Like what's actually possible? And like just focus on that, you know? Like because realistically, all these things, probably even more, they're definitely very possible business models. But like what is actually like easiest and fastest to do and like actually like can work? And I would just highlight that. And then everything else, I'll just be like, oh yeah, this is everything else we're gonna be doing. What do you think?
I guess I can just say, I guess yeah, I'm thinking like realistically, probably like just have the sign up or the pre-order button on the website. But I can also like to make it sound good, I can say like I can like start recommend it. Like I can start recommending it to my clients or like giving out like free samples and then talk
Okay.
to the agents in my network and then have them recommended it. But I mean it sounds good, but I don't have that like right now. But I can say that.
It's okay. I think if you just make it sound like again, I think even the business slide can be like a more of a narrative, right? Like instead of just saying like, these are the 3 ways we can make money: direct sales, through e-commerce, partnerships with grocery stores, supermarket. Instead of just reading off the list, you can just be like, so these are the 3 ways that we think we can make money. And we're gonna start off with this direct sales through e-commerce because it's the easiest thing to do. And we already have like a wait list going. And then the second thing we're going to do is partner with health professionals because I am a health professional and I can start recommending these like noodles to people. And I have other friends who are in the space. So that's why we're going to do that.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
last thing that we really want to do, but maybe in the future, next 3 months, is subscription models. Because I want to have like, because I want to have other all I'm saying is you can make this slide a little bit more interesting, like by just making it about you a little bit more.
Yeah, actually that's a really good example of yeah.
I don't really
How
care
to
what
do
you're
that.
doing. I'm just
Yeah.
saying you can make this a little bit more interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, and then like traction slide. Um, okay. Okay, what you're really trying to say here is that the product is still being built, right? Like the noodle is still being built.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Just say that. I think you can also. I think it's an attraction. It might be cool to just talk about like what are people saying to you? Like how many people have you shown this to? You know, uh, how many people have signed up? How many people have told you that they want this? Yeah.
Yeah, not that many, but can I like exaggerate?
No, maybe not that many. Sure. What are you gonna say? Um, but actually though, like in general, right? Like don't actually you don't need to focus that much on building the product. Like I'm just talking about like outside of this pitch, right? I think maybe it's just my thoughts. Maybe you actually should get a wait list going, like just seeing who's actually interested in this.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then show demand. I think showing user demand is really important. Because wait, how many people have told you that they're interested in this?
Um, Probably just like less than 10. But I didn't talk to that many people yet. Yeah.
Oh, why not? So I can just socialize it.
Yeah. I just haven't reached that many people.
Are they also like willing to like pre-order and like just help you build this? Like, like I think part of it is just finding like super fans. The people who personally, I would actually really want this. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, if you have this, I'm actually your first customer. Like, I would want to try
Okay.
this. Because this kind of reminds me of the protein bubble tea stuff.
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys know this. No one talking
Have you
about.
tried it?
I have not tried it. See, okay, maybe I'm not really a real customer. But like I think it's very similar. Like there's that stuff is very similar to your stuff too, right? I'm sure like in the beginning, they probably just needed to get like a wait list going and like maybe even had to fake the product a little bit to show that like, hey, do people actually want this? I'm sure once they got enough signups, maybe they got some pre-sales, and then they actually want to build it. Because this is like, I don't know, I imagine this is like stuff that you actually have to do some R&D.
Hmm.
I mean, it's hard to do
Yeah.
it. It's hard to convince people to help you with it if you can't convince people that don't want it. Although I don't know, I feel like people would want this. I don't know personally. Just have a feeling. It just sounds like a cool thing to do. It's like protein bubble tea. Like who wouldn't want that? You know, it's just like a fun thing.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah,
even,
but yeah.
even for supermarkets, like it might be good to even talk to them about it. Like I don't know, depending on how you make money, like it might just be good to talk to the people who are who you think will pay you to like actually like, hey, would you guys do this? Like, have you guys done it? Also, are there actual ramens that are like that actually exist already out there, like competitors?
Yeah, I'm looking at yeah, I think I was mainly doing like competitive research, like Imi ramen. I think it's the biggest one.
Amy ramen.
Um yeah. But that like they have like 5 grams of net carbs. Like you eat ramen and you only get 5 grams of carbs. Like
I think it's 8.
no, like why would you do that? Yeah.
Wait, is that bad or good?
It's that like you need, you know, your brain needs like at least 130 grams of carbs per day to
No way.
function,
No
you
way.
know?
30 grams of carbs to function? No way.
Yeah, like 5 grams. And then, but like normally like a noodle has like maybe like 70 grams or 50 grams. So if you eat like 3 meals a day or something like that, or that, I mean, just, you know, you also eat your like vegetables, fruits, they also have carbs, milk also has carbs. But so yeah, just think about like if you eat a whole bowl of ramen, you get 5 grams of carbs. Like
Do people
basically
call
they're
Oh yeah, go ahead.
doing like a keto thing, which I don't really support. And most I just don't really support keto, but I know keto is a marketing point. So
Okay, so it seems like you do have a differentiation factor, right? You're trying to find people who also feel. Look, I think with everything that you guys are doing, right? Really, you're just trying to find people who feel the same way that you feel. You're just trying to find other yous,
yeah,
you know, like people who like also have this issue with the ramen that's out there. That is that making sense? Like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna stop recording.